My grandfather, he died when he was 27 years old. I didn't really start thinking long and hard about his life until after I reached my age of 27 years old.
So I've always, heard about him and the story of the empire ever since I could remember. I asked my father if I could learn more about my biological grandfather, William F. German, Jr., and he said the best person to go to would be my great uncle, my Uncle Bud, Charles German. And now he's like another grandfather to me, and we've become very close.
My whole life I've known about the history of the empire as much as I could as a child. In our own house was the portrait of my biological grandfather, William German. It wasn't until later on when I became older that I would learn more of the actual details and would see actual documents, actual photographs, and learn more about him. Never having met that grandfather, the only way I could really learn about him was through my own father's stories.
I didn't cry at my mother's memorial service. I didn't cry at my gravesite of my father. I don't know when the last time I cried, but tonight I cried. So, and it's a good cry. We're doing the right thing.
I can honestly admit, I mean, it was just probably one of the greatest dives I ever did, the day I saw the City Service Empire.
This photo was in this classified report at the Navy Archives in Washington. I was doing research for my doctoral dissertation on Micronesia, and I mentioned to the archivist there the story of my father being killed by the submarine. And before I knew it, within 30 minutes, the research source person had this document in front of my nose, and he declassified it on the spot for me. This is the submarine on the surface after the first attack by this patrol plane, American patrol plane. At the same time, he found another report, which was confidential, by a destroyer named the USS Biddle, DD-151, which is an old destroyer. And that's the report of picking up the American survivors from the merchant ship. And he declassified that for me. So I walked out of there with these two reports, plus the later they built a Liberty ship, named it after my father, and they gave me the record of the trips made by that Liberty ship, 1944, 1945, 1946. In the Biddle report, it lists, 7 bodies were recovered, identified by the survivors, and there's my father, William German Jr., the captain, or the master, they call it, of the ship. The Biddle, and there was the Coast Guard cutter called the Vigilant, that were going through the area picking up the survivors and the dead bodies. The attack was at nighttime and before dawn. And so, but the search went on through after daylight. And so the 7 people are missing obviously were inside the ship. And so there's probably skeletons on board the Empire. And that's why we don't think some unscrupulous divers should just be going down there and treating the ship with disrespect. It's a tomb. It's a graveyard, and it should be recognized as a graveyard.